Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And for those who have been following me, I initially did a story on the now ex-chief of police of the NYPD, New York Police Department chief, Jeffrey Maddrey, who has embattled and embroiled in a situation with a police officer who was a desk administrative police officer who made a whopping $405,515 in 1 year on the job last year, and she made a whopping $204,453 in overtime. Well, as that audit got exposed, her name is Quanthesia Epps. She alleged that Chief Jeffrey Maddrey was sexually harassing her and that they had had an inappropriate relationship for a period of time, and that Chief Maddrey was pressuring her in this inappropriate behavior in order for her to get her overtime. So that shed a light on Chief Maddrey and what was going on in the office. He did have a couple of past sexual harassment allegations against him throughout his tenure as a police officer, and he still became the police chief under Mayor Eric Adams, who has also been indicted by the feds in New York City. The mayor recommended Chief Jeffrey Maddrey to be the chief of police, and now after after Quanthesia Epps' scenario and her salary, she made the most money out of any police officer in the state of New York last year by making a whopping $405,000 and over $200,000 in overtime. And that has brought those two into the gavel for not only dealing with their department and the mayor's office answering questions, but now the feds. But now that Pandora's box has been opened, there have been 3 other people who have made exorbitant overtime pay. And this particular story deals with the ex-chief's driver, who was also a female, and how much she made, and along with 1 or 2 other people. So there are at least 4 individuals who have made exorbitant amounts of money in overtime pay under the watchful eye of the ex-chief Jeffrey Maddrey. So here we go. Ex-NYPD chief Jeffrey Maddrey's former driver, who made a whopping $163,000 in overtime last year, questioned by the feds in Essex for overtime probe. One of the top overtime earners in disgraced ex-NYPD Chief Jeffrey Maddrey's office is talking to federal investigators as they probe Essex for overtime allegations uncovered by the Post, law enforcement sources say. Her name, the driver, Ingrid Sanders, the ex-driver of the department, former top uniform cop, had her cell phone taken by the feds, who are looking at whether the NYPD was using federal funds to pay for the overtime, the sources say. The only thing she can be talking about is her overtime and her interactions with Chief Maddrey, a source familiar with the investigation said. Sanders, who joined the department in 1993, made an eye-whopping $163,414 in overtime last year. and resigned days after the Post exposed her boss's alleged tawdry conduct at police headquarters with another underling in a front page expose on December 21st. And that was with Lieutenant Quarthesia Epps. She was but Miss Sanders, Ingrid Sanders, she was the seventh highest overtime earner in the department. Now remember, she's the chief of police as a driver. She was the seventh highest overtime earner, boasting her total salary last fiscal year to $352,462, records show. She was the driver. She made up $352,000 being his driver. I mean, who is she driving? The President of the United States? A dignitary from a foreign country? But also, Lieutenant Quarthesia Epps. She was the top earner, pulling in $405,515, including $204,453 in overtime. The 19-year veteran of the department filed an EEOC complaint claiming that Chief Maddrey exploited her emotional and financial vulnerabilities, as well as her history of child trauma, to coerce her into performing unwanted SX favors. That story is one of my previous videos. Detective Ada Reyes, another top earner. Now this is another female. Now, what is the common theme here? These are all women. Detective Ada Reyes, another top overtime earner who also worked for Chief Maddrey, was transferred to public housing after the Post broke the scandal. She made $42,500 as a new police officer in 2019, but her pay jumped to $154,405 in 2024, including $55,923 in overtime, city records show. Chief Maddrey's Queen home was raided by the feds last Thursday as investigators probed Epps' accusations. And remember, Epps is the one who made the whopping $400,000 in total salary last year. And they were in a liaison together for a period of time. Even the liaison was taking place at NYPD's headquarters. Chief Maddrey resigned December 20th of 2024 after the Post reached out to him for comments about Epps' allegations. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch suspended him for several days later. Chief Maddrey's lawyer, Lambra, said the SX between Chief Maddrey and Epps was consensual and denied allegations of SX for overtime, saying his client did not approve overtime slips. Talking about the chief didn't approve overtime slips. Lieutenant Epps got caught with her hand in the cookie jar and is trying to deflect her wrongdoing by making these allegations against Chief Maddrey, Lambro said. Tisch, who is the police commissioner, ousted dozens of NYPD brass December 28th in a shocking purge, beginning with bosses at the department's Internal Affairs Bureau, which is responsible for investigating cops accused of wrongdoing. Everyone transferred out of the disgraced former chief's office is expected to be brought in for interviews with the revamped Internal Affairs Bureau, another insider said. What in the world is going on in the city of New York City? You have Puffy that has been arrested with his cadre of allegations. You have the real estate brothers who have been indicted and alleged in the very similar Essex allegations, a cadre of harassment and allegations against them. They are one of the largest real estate brokers in New York City. They have been indicted. You have Mayor Adams, Eric Adams, who has been indicted by the feds. The feds are going to, the Eastern and Southern District of New York City is going to be extremely busy. It seems to be where they are indicting the mayor, politicians, entertainers, and now their own blue and brass. This is a telltale sign of egregiousness and where the people in blue are crossing the line into possible criminality. This is city, state, and federal tax-paying dollars that are going to enormous amounts of overtime. When in the world have you ever heard of a cop making $400,000? Now, do I think they're underpaid? Absolutely. Police officers, nurses, teachers, yes, they should be making six figures, in my opinion, as a standard salary, or at least $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. And then maybe they wouldn't have to go this route for all of this overtime. They are underserved, underappreciated, and definitely underpaid. This also puts an extreme strain on New York City's public safety. Everybody knows the New York City Police Department is the largest police department in America. According to statistics and documents, they are understaffed by about 3,500 police officers to 4,000. They need almost 4,000 police officers to be a fully capacitated department. Public safety is at an all-time high and a risk in our major cities like New York City, Chicago, LA, Atlanta. And you having this understaffing of these departments, an unappreciation for the people in blue. They're putting their lives on the line each and every day. But you still have this situation where they are milking the system at an all-time high, and it starts at the very top. What in the world was going on in the mind of Chief Jeffrey Maddrey'S thoughts? How in the world could he think he can get away with this? And you've got at least 3 to 4 women, not men. All of these were women. And then you have this issue with this harassment allegation against the chief. He had beat 2 previous harassment allegations in his past before he was chief. And of course, Mayor Adams still made him the chief of police. And then now you have this entire conundrum of multiple women, underlings under Chief Maddrey'S leadership that are showing where they have made an exuberant amount of overtime. Did they earn it? This is all on the taxpayer's dime and under the city governmental watch. And now they are in a boiling hot water over this scenario. And now the feds have even come in and went into Chief Maddrey'S house, and they have secured cell phones from Ingrid Sanders and these individuals that are part of this investigation. These folks are in a bit of trouble. And this is a telltale sign that when you're trying to represent the people and be in a leadership role for your city and your state, that you got to make sure that you're doing the right thing at all times. What is happening in New York and their governmental agencies and their police department, they are falling apart one person at a time, and this is unfortunate. And I pray for the public safety and for the citizens, the tax-paying citizens of New York, that they need to get all of this bad energy out of their governmental and police departments and try to restore some kind of health to these departments, and hopefully public safety does not get mirrored in this chaos and disruption. There's more to come with this chief and these accusations of harassment and pay for play with his subordinates. And this is not looking good, from Eric Adams at the top to the chief of police and moving down the ladder with these other officers. This is an unfortunate circumstance. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience.